early in the week, but what have you seen from ODU's defense so far in film?
I mean, just what they run, it presents a different type of challenge that we haven't seen this year. Just with the three high safeties, they have an extra piece. They always play with three down, but they also have the ability to, bring guys from the exterior. So just being in tune with the preparation of that, and also they fly around to the football. So just a defense that can show different variations of looks and run different coverages and blitz from anywhere. I have to be in tune with film all week in preparation.
And obviously, you guys have been in conference games for the last several weeks now, but ODU, Interstate, a little bit different with the Royal rivalry and everything like that. What's it like preparing for a game like this one?
I mean, I've been in some rivalries before, obviously at the high school level. Paige Grimsley, who was a part of the great American rivalry series, but this is obviously another level. FBS alums, a lot of people would be tuned in, and then it's on national television as well. So just to be able to promote our brand out there in a big way, in a big game is very important to us.
What kind of progress have you seen the past couple of weeks just in terms of communication amongst the offensive line and protections? The sack numbers got a little high lately, and they kind of dipped last week. What kind of progress did you made last week?
We put a real emphasis on communication, especially on the road, hostile environment. Obviously here our crowd's a little more friendly when we have the ball, but that's not the case, obviously, for away games. So just making sure that we're in tune together, offensive line, myself. We meet, we talk about different protections and things, and just having that open line of communication that I talk about. We have that during the week, during the game, so that's of the utmost importance.
You guys have had a lot of bright moments on the road. There's also been some challenges on the road, too. What kind of gives you the confidence that this week there'll be a more consistent effort?
I know the guys that I have around me. We're all resilient on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. We challenge each other. We push each other. And that's just a standard we hold each other to day in, day out in practice. When we go good on good, when we go scout, everybody, competes their butts off. And we don't accept anything but the best from each other.
I know coming out of the offseason, you guys all said with so many new faces that just spending time around each other really helped kind of create that bond. But how much has being on the field and playing in these games kind of helped this team grow and get better?
Obviously, when you're experiencing highs, you need your brothers still, but just the heightened sense isn't there as much as when you have those lows, especially on the road. We have that time to travel down there. We experience the game. We travel back. And just that tight connection that we have on the road and just experiencing those lows in certain situations, it's built our resilience throughout the season.
Yeah, what do you remember from the old Dominion environment from last year? Like, how do you think it's going to be pretty similar? I mean, it's a team that's kind of gotten something going as of late in the conference.
Yeah. Anytime that you have a rivalry game, I think you throw the records out the window. I'm sure that they'll be trying to, put their best foot forward, just like we do week in, week out, and especially with the rivalry, like you talk about with alums. This is something that people are very proud of, in-state rivalry. So we expect that to be a hostile environment. It was pretty loud the last time we were there.
Any other questions for Zach?
Okay.
Hey, I just want to ask you, being the signal caller for this team and seeing 5 straight sellouts, it's been 10 straight dating back to last year. What does that say just about, I think, the growth of the program, the growth of our fan base to have that at home and the advantage it gives you guys every week?
Yeah, obviously on the offensive side of the ball, it gives us a tremendous advantage, especially when we score and you see those streamers fly. And I think that just shows the love that this program has and this team has from the fan base. Means the world to us. I'm sure on a big third down stop, JT could talk about this more, but just to hear the crowd behind you, it gives you an extra adrenaline boost. So for that to know that we have that type of support, it makes us go harder.
You want to hear the noise when you're on the field, and Zoe probably wants it a little bit quieter. So what is it like when you're playing in front of this crowd?
Oh, it's awesome. Just having everyone, screaming on, second, third down, even fourth down too. Just knowing that the offense is at a disadvantage when we're playing them, it gives us another element. And, we have our things that we do on third down, but it just helps when you have the crowd behind us and, they can't really, hear or make the communications that they need to.
To shift gears a little bit about ODU, they run a pretty different kind of system. They beat you guys a couple over top balls last year. What would you learn from last year, and what can you kind of translate from film this year about their offense?
I think their tempo, kind of got to us last year, especially when we started to get tired in the third and fourth quarter. So it's all about communication this year, just making sure people know what they need to do on each and every single play. And their tempo is going to be fast, but we just have to be ready for that. Get our calls in, get our communication in, and just be ready for anything that they're going to do.
I wanted to ask you, in hindsight now, going through a regime change when the defense played so well last year, and then it kind of just maybe improves in a couple areas this year. How reassuring is it to go through a regime change and your defense still play as well as it has been?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, we pride ourselves, coming out every single day, even in practice and through every game. We don't want, the other offense to even score or get down to the red zone. So just knowing that, our standard hasn't changed from last year to this year, and, maybe the coaches have changed and, a lot of the players have changed, but, the people that stayed kind of harped on what we need to do this year. And I think we've come out this year and we've done it for the most part, but, we're still growing, we're still learning, and I think we're getting better every single day.
Yeah, there's always a talk with that Royal Rivalry Challenge. I mean, with a chance to get 3 straight wins for this program against Old Dominion, I mean, are you really taking that into account at all? I mean, you are focused, I guess, mostly at the game at hand, but just to have that historic success against them over the past few years, should you get that 3rd win?
Yeah, I think, the last 2 years it went in our favor. My freshman year, we went down there. And then last year, it was a close game, but you can never take the last 2 years for granted, and this year is going to be different. We have different players; they have different players. It should be a fun game. I know they're going to try to come out and have a hostile environment, but I think that we're ready for it. But it should be a fun game for us and for them. And we're going to come out this week and practice our butt off, and we're going to go out there and give it everything we have.
You were talking a little bit about ODU's up tempo. And considering you've seen it last year, does that give you an advantage this year, kind of knowing just how up-tempo that offense is and scheme-wise? How much different is it from last year to this year? Is it pretty similar?
They don't do as much as they did last year, but they still do it, so we still have to take that into account. But, we have a lot of people on this team that have kind of seen this offense or a variation of it. And, having everybody's perspective on it and kind of, going through it and having experience with it, you can kind of gauge it with other people. And, our defensive coordinator has a really good scheme for us, and, we're going to go out there and execute it. We might have some flaws of the week, but we'll make sure that they're corrected. But, yeah, it's nothing that should scare us, really.
What has Terrence Spence meant to this defense, and what's it like playing alongside him?
Oh, he's awesome. I mean, I have communication with him, because since he's to the field, I have communication with him every play. But he's awesome. He's a ball hawk. He keeps going throughout the game. He might have a play here and there. He never gets down on himself, and we always let him know that we're there for him. But he's an awesome guy. He's a competitor, and he's pretty good at football.
Kind of like what I asked about, you guys had the summer to really bond and create kind of that team chemistry, but how much has actually playing in these games and going on road trips really helped to kind of push this team to the next level?
Oh, it's awesome. We're always hanging out in the hotel rooms. We sometimes have to do our quizzes and our tests and our, we just go over notes together. But honestly, just talking about other things than just football, kind of getting to know them and what their life is like and where they come from and, what their why is and stuff like that. It just makes you closer as a unit. And each person cares for each other a lot on this whole team. So I think it's just bonded us together. And I think you can kind of see that on the field, how we celebrate together and just have fun while we're out there.
And then obviously, I know through most of the season it's been Dobbs that's been handling a lot of the communication on defense. And then going into last weekend without having him on the field, how much did you guys notice that, or how much did other guys just kind of pick it up and fill in that void?
I think TJ did a great job. I think all of our linebackers did a great job. But, I think you can tell because, Dobbs is always talking while you're out there. But, I think we had pretty good communication last week, but we knew that in our safety room and, the linebackers had to step up just to make sure that, everyone's on the same page, everyone's making the same calls. And we had a lot of checks this week for what type of offense that Georgia State ran. So I think it went pretty smoothly.
One thing Coach Chesney talks about a little bit is like the one-on-ones. I mean, when you talk about a guy like Colton Joseph, I mean, that's a guy that can run, pass the ball, and then they've also got playmakers in the receiver game. I mean, what are you doing to really hone in on those one-on-one matchups that could decide the game on Saturday?
We do good on good, every single week, and we have wide receiver DB one-on-ones. And, we take that very seriously, and we never want to lose to our offense because we feel that our receivers are, pretty good, and they give us a run for our money every single practice. But just competing every single time that you're out there, you might not win each one-on-one ball, but making sure that, you're getting hands-on, you're playing through the ball, and just the one-on-one matchups you have to win.
Yeah, do you think when you talk about Old Dominion's receiving group, do you see it like the issue being more explosive or technical in terms of the thing you're gonna have to face? Do you think it's like, do they have like a real just really quick, or is it more so? I mean, just like being like a good team effort. I don't know if there's any in particular guys that you think really stand out to you in terms of potential playmakers.
Not really. I think we played good receivers all year. I don't want to discredit anything that they've done. I think their quarterback is, playing at a high level right now. But, if we stick to what we need to do and we have communication and we're winning our one-on-one matchups, then I don't see that they're going to be a problem for us at all.
This might be kind of a broad question, but what about the way Coach Hemp prepares and helps prepare you guys is so effective, and have you guys been so good this year? What about his week to week? You think is different than some of the other defensive coordinators you play with?
It's probably some of the hardest looks you'll get out there, all week. They might not run it during the game, but you have to be prepared for everything. And I think he does a great job at just making sure that, every single look that we might see, he's going to give it to us. And, we might mess it up out at practice, but, we get into the film room. We do walkthroughs out there before practice. And, the walkthroughs on Thursday and Friday, they're hard, and they're challenging, but, they make us better, and just making sure that we have the communication through all the weird looks that we might see. But he's done a great job this whole year, and, it's not over yet. We still have 3 more games to keep, growing and learning and finish this thing out.